Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. We will be back in 55 seconds. Hey guys, AJ Town here, live with the T Storm Chasers, ready to break down this big storm that we have right behind us here, and we're going to look at it hour by hour. When's this going to move through the area, how much snow we're going to be looking at, and actually be prepared. Unfortunately, guys, we are looking at 2 more snow systems that are going to be starting to move through the area. This strap here, just want to briefly explain to everybody, I unfortunately had shoulder surgery, so I am still kind of tied up with that. So, thank you everybody for joining us on this Monday evening. We will break down things, start taking a look, and see what we are getting ourselves into. As we want to jump into it right away here, we are looking at a winter weather advisory in effect for much of the area. There in green, it does include the Sioux Falls area, Lincoln County, Turner County, Yankton County, Clay County, Union County, and I'm not 100% sure on that one, and I certainly do apologize. I just know I screwed up on that one. But anyways, guys, we are looking at some good amount of snow pushing through here. We are, according to the winter weather advisory, between that 2 to 4 inch mark. Some areas could receive upwards to 6 inches, and we will definitely break that down, look at it, and let you guys also know here, just to kind of start, we are looking at a messy commute in the morning. So be prepared for that. We are looking at this snow system to push through. The models have been continuously... I knocked my mic there, so sorry. The models have continuously been consistent on timing of this over the course of the last 12 hours that we have been watching this timing breakdown of this system. So we are definitely seeing that happen. Thanks to everybody that are joining us on Facebook. We're also live on Twitter and YouTube, and also in the T Storm Chaser private group on Facebook. You can search that and find it that way too. So as we take a look at this storm system that is right behind me, let me transition to that. Give me just a second here to get it moved. All right, we get that moved over here. There we go. Perfect. We want to thank Galaxy Gaming right over there for definitely sponsoring this live stream, so we could bring this information to you guys. Now, we are looking at this latest model is a European model. We are looking at it. Let me hit the refresh button just to make sure we do have the latest information that we are providing you. We are starting this at 15 Zulu. So roughly about 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, Monday today, we are starting to put this into play. Now, we do start to see things develop about that 03 Zulu is what we are starting to see with that. Now, that 03 Zulu minus about that 6-hour time frame, We're looking right about that 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour is what we are looking at as that starts to come in to South Dakota. As we put the next button there, we're looking about that 1 o'clock time frame, about that 3 o'clock, and now we're looking right about that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time frame of that snow system. You can see just to the east of the Sioux Falls area there in Rock County, Minnesota, we are seeing that heavier band of snow there play in as well. Then the European model gives Minnesota and Iowa a huge snow system pushing through with that. Does continue for southern portions, and this is why that winter weather advisory isn't out with this, is because of this heavier snow that we are going to be seeing with this. That'll quickly move off to the east and out of the area by your commute home. We don't expect the commute home to be such a mess as the commute to work. So just kind of a heads up there on that. We're now looking at that 54-hour forecast, 60-hour, 66, 72. We are starting to watch that next low pressure system starting to knock on our door here about that 90-hour forecast out. And that right behind it there, you can see it starting right in that Billing, Montana area there, is starting to really produce there. And now we can start really seeing in there in Wyoming as well, this system. As this low pressure system does continue to progress its way eastward, we're going to see this next snow system start to move through. So far, it's keeping that one there to the north of us in North Dakota area and into northern Minnesota. Northern portions of South Dakota is going to see the impact of that as well. We're watching the next low pressure system that will push through, bring us a little chances there in that Iowa area. Now here comes that next low pressure system that we are starting to watch that's going to bring us our next snowstorm. But please note, we're looking at this 186-hour forecast. So we are definitely a little ways out there. Now this is Monday, so we are just a little bit of a week out here is what this European model. Now this European model has been consistent with the snowstorm. If you go back and watch one of our previous lives that we did mention this snowstorm on that one as well, and that was a couple days ago that we were watching that one. This snow system does, again, impact really much of the Sioux Falls area up into the Minneapolis area there. You can see the dark blue there is what we are. Again, we're at that 186-hour forecast, though, so things are definitely a ways out there. That'll continue to progress its way eastward, impacting much of the Midwest with this system. We do have a little high pressure system that's going to move through the area. That'll bring us our next clipper system. Just a brief little trace of snow, not expecting a large snow system with that one Wednesday into Thursday of next week. So that is what we are looking with that European model. Now, snow totals. I know everybody's favorite thing to talk about here. Snow totals. Here's what we are looking at with that latest update. With that latest update up there, we are seeing those snow totals are going to be anywhere between that 2 to 4 inch mark down in the southeastern portions of South Dakota. We are seeing those snow totals a little higher for the Sioux Falls area, about that 2.8 inch. I'm going to put it right around that 2 to 3 inch mark. Watertown about a tenth of an inch of snow. Mitchell about an inch of snow. Madison about that 1.2 inches. Brookings close to that 1 inch mark. Winter about 1.3. Norfolk, Nebraska, we're looking about 2.4 to the Sioux City area. Out in Iowa, Spencer, Iowa, there about that 3.1. Fairmount, Minnesota, about that 4.0. About that Worthington area, about that 3.6. Tracy, Minnesota, about 2.7 is what we are looking at. Now, as we are talking about the Sioux City, Norfolk, Nebraska area, West Point, Nebraska area, that type of stuff, we're going to switch over actually to an ice accumulation map is what we are looking at here. We are seeing a little bit of an ice accumulation going to be possible with this as it does move through the area. So if you're heading south of South Dakota into that Iowa along the I-29 corridor, that is something to be concerned about. There is going to be that ice that is going to push through with the snow system as well. As we take a look at your latest HRR model run, we'll go ahead and start this up here. We do see those rain showers start to push through the area here this evening. It's changing over to snow in the overnight hours. That'll continue to stick around. Then again, about your commute time is when we really start to see things ramp up there and push off eastward into the I-35 corridor, Minnesota area there by about 2-3 o'clock. Expect that commute home to be a lot better. Now, as we take a quick zoom in here and take a closer look at timing, we definitely will look at that for much of the southeastern portions of South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska there. We'll go ahead and start this here about that 8 o'clock time frame. We are starting to see some of the isolated showers push through, changing over to snow. That'll continue to progress and then change over to complete snow about through the overnight hours. There's what we are seeing. That'll push through the Sioux Falls area. Again, for your commute home or commute to work, we are seeing that those heavier bands are actually pushing through. We did see that ice accumulation there push through that Sioux City area. Now let's go ahead and we'll zoom in closer even down to street level there almost, where we can look at that snowfall here. Again, overnight we start to see things really change over about that 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock time frame there. Now, as we look about that 3 o'clock time frame, 4 o'clock, we start to see some of the heavier bands about that 5:30 start to push through the Sioux Falls area and quickly eastward there. About that 7 o'clock, we do see that snow sticking around there. So about 7:30, 8 o'clock there, we are seeing that as well stick around. Now, as we did mention of some ice accumulation, we will take a quick look at that down further southward here, down by the Sioux City, Norfolk, Nebraska, Omaha area there. We'll go ahead and put that into play here, and we'll take a quick look at that and kind of see what we are looking at for timing on that. Good news is for your commute home is when we do expect the system to finally be pushed out of the area. There we do see some of that ice accumulation right around that Norfolk, Nebraska, Wayne, Sioux City. Southward there, we do see up north of Omaha is what we are seeing with that. That system just blurped out on me, so I certainly do apologize there. As we are dealing with severe snowstorm pushing through our area, down south they are dealing with a chance of some very, very dangerous weather that will be pushing through their area tomorrow as well, about that same time that we are looking at some of that pushing through our area. They do have a great probability of seeing some tornadic activity down in the Memphis area there, all the way down into the Louisiana area there. Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, all this area here in this dark yellow is going to be a great, great tornado risk for that area. Again, for that area in red, we are seeing a very good chance of seeing some severe weather push through that area. As we take a quick look at our latest live radar here that we are going to be looking at, we are seeing on that live radar, give me just a second to get over to that, sorry. As we take a look at that live radar, we are starting to see some showers already starting to push into the area. As we switch the radar over to kind of break it down, tell us what we are looking at, we are seeing that it is snow that is pushing through right now. Looks like the Mitchell area, Alexandria, Ethan, Dimick, Parkston, Corsica area. There's Salem. We do see up in Brookings some of this pushing through as well. Down in the Pierce, Nebraska, Norfolk, Nebraska, Madison area there, we are seeing Stanton. That rain shower is starting to push through. These will continue to push their way again up in northeastward, and then also pushing eastward as well. That we will start seeing that. As we take a look at our latest WSV3 model run here, this is our snow accumulation that we are looking at. This is the latest from the HRRR. So Sioux Falls, we can actually zoom in here. Let's zoom in really close here. Kind of Yankton 3.6, Sioux Center about that 5.9, Worthington 7.2, Mankato 6.0, Minneapolis about that 8-inch, Marshall, Trent, we can do 2.1, Brookings about that 0.5, Mitchell about that 0.5, Madison right about that 1-inch mark, Wagner about that 1.5. We could go Beersford about that 5.5, Vermilion about that 5.3, Sioux City about that 3.3, Norfolk, Nebraska about that 2.9, Creighton about that 5, Laurel, Nebraska about that 5.6, Lamarge 3.9. Now this is the latest model from the HRRR, which is a National Weather Service model that we utilize here, that we can see. Let me get some of this cleared off here. There we go. That will break it down and let us see some of that live stuff as far as latest model runs and stuff pushing through. We can see the snow system right here. Let's go ahead and I don't want the fronts. So there's our low pressure system coming over the Canadian or Colorado Rockies area there. That's what's bringing this moisture, is going to be that low pressure system there pushing through all that. It's out in front of it, and that's what's really pushing this. Now this is what we're looking at is coming to our neck of the woods here in the course of the next couple hours here. So we definitely do see some of these heavier bands of snow pushing through right now. Valentine, Nebraska, Rosebud, White River, Cody, Nebraska, just southeast of Gordon, Nebraska. Springview will be just under the gun here just momentarily with some of those heavier bands. That is starting to push into the South Dakota area there. We do see on this radar too the Defiant of seeing that rain and mixture there. Let's zoom in there. About that Mitchell area there, we are seeing some mixed precipitation on radar. Not sure what's reaching the ground there. Don't want to certainly speculate and start scaring people, but we definitely do see some mixed precipitation starting to move through there. We do see Salem is getting, according to our radar, is getting some of that snow. As we zoom in there, is getting snow. However, this radar here that we are looking at, the national radar, is showing it as rain. So it's really questionable what is falling out there in that Salem. This green area here is what we're kind of concerned with that as well. So again, as we jump back and look at your quick snow totals, we are looking at between that 2 to 3 inch mark for the Sioux Falls area. Further south you go and further east you go, snow totals are going to be a little higher on that. So definitely going to be a fun commute in the morning. We do expect to see things between that 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning. So that commute to school even in the morning is going to be a fun trip. So definitely leave a little earlier, give yourself some extra time, and give yourself plenty of space. Don't end up on our feed, and have yourself a great night. We're going to go ahead and jump off of here and definitely keep an eye on things. I want to thank everybody that does support us. One thing we do want to mention is tomorrow we will be live throughout the day. It is Giving Tuesday, and we will be live doing our annual fundraiser for that Giving Tuesday. So join us. Let's have some fun tomorrow. We'll be giving some fun prizes away. Donations that are received get. We're going to be giving away trips. We're going to be giving away just a bunch of random things, and it's going to be a fun day. Join us live here tomorrow, and we'll be also out and about, kind of watching the weather out there as well. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a fantastic night. Stay safe.